Hello, this is Tricia from Tricia's Cards and Crafts. Welcome to my channel, and today's card is another in my Halloween themed series of projects. I saw a card similar to this on Pinterest. If I cannot remember, I'll try and put it in the comments below who it was that who I saw had done a card like this. But when I saw it, I thought, I want to do something like that. At the time, what she'd used one of the designer series papers as a background, but I actually quite like what I did because I couldn't find. I had bought the designer series papers for the Halloween, but I couldn't find them at the time. They're lovely papers. So I made my own background paper instead, but these are the they've got two different patterns on different sides. So you've got spiders and you've got like a harlequin in black. You've got a lovely like wallpapery, gothic-y wallpapery sort of thing, and you've got a black and white sort of roses on the back. Then you've got a lovely orangey blacky colour. No, she used that one. This one has got cobwebs and roses on it, and it's got the stripes on the back, black and white stripes. Then it's this one with like cobwebs, and it's a mandala effect. I like that one in this rusty colour. I think it's cinnamon cider. And then you've got the bats, the filigree sort of bats on the back, and then you've got this one with a black background with some flowers on, and that one has the black version of the cinnamon cider with the mandala pattern on it, and you've got a beautiful black and white flowers with roses and different things on, and that one has bats on the back in black. Okay, so those are the papers that you can get, which I really like, but I'm going to carry on and do the background that I did for this one on this card again, and I used the 3D embossing folder, the cobwebs one, and I cut it out in orange, in pumpkin pie, and then I used some of these luster rub-ons. You can get them from Amazon, but because I haven't found anything like this in Stampin' Up, but you can use a sponge dauber or a piece of foam with some black ink, but I just quite like that. You can't really see much of a luster on the thing, but there is a slight luster there as well on the card, so I'm going to use this again, because you can use it with your fingers. It's a bit like a wax, and you rub it on and it just takes up the raised design on the embossed. So we'll get on with this. Now you might think that this piece of card here on the front, on the top, is orange, but it isn't. It's this yellowy colour, and I think this is the crushed curry. Might be bumblebee, but I've got a feeling, yeah, it's a little bit darker, the bumblebee. I think this is crushed curry. And I just masked the area for the moon, and then I coloured it with pumpkin pie and I think pineapple punch. No, that's not pineapple punch. I think I've missed up my lids. Oh well, that's not the right lid, I don't think. Oh dear, this could be fun. Anyway, I might just use the pumpkin pie for this one, just in case. Right, so we'll start with the front of the card, I think, with this piece here. I've cut out I punched out a circle to wrap for the moon, and I'm going to put it about here. Okay, now I'm going to put a piece of scrap paper underneath because it's going to get messy. Okay, right, so here's my pumpkin pie. I'm going to use actually I could use terracotta tile this time instead. Here's my, that's not real red. This is what happens when you don't put things away. Right, I think I might as well use this one for now. Can't see, oh there it is. This one. So, just ink it up and come in from the sides. I'm going to go all over. Maybe as you go around the moon, maybe not quite so much, but we'll need to have a little bit, otherwise it won't stand out quite so much. There you go. I am going to go around the edge afterwards with some black, so I'm not too worried about the corners or the edges. Not too much. But I just want to get a nice orange. And it doesn't matter if it's a bit blotched places, that's not a problem. Okay, and then I'm going to use, whoops, this one with some terracotta tile. It's a little bit darker. And I'm just going to come in. Yep, that should be okay. And then I'm going to finish off using some black ink. Need some Memento. I've run out of daubers, which is why I'm using this piece of sponge. It's not as easy to use, and I do tend to get it all over my fingers as well. I just need to be a bit careful. From the corners. Along the side. Just going to make these corners a little bit darker. There we go, I'll do, I think. I mean, no two cards are ever the same if you handmade them, so it's not a problem if it's a little bit different. Right, now I need to take this off. There we go. So now you see that the moon stands out quite a bit now. Now for the next part, we're going to stamp the tree on here now. Now I put the tree on here as already, and I lined this up here. Just check. I don't know a bit. That's all right, I think. Yeah. Could move it across a little bit more, I think. Don't want too much of the branches showing on the moon. I want a little bit so that it shows the silhouette up nicely. There we go, that'll do. Right, so now we need to ink this up. The reason I'm doing this is because I want it to be really dark tree. Now when I did it, I didn't have my platform. I'd lent it to my mum, so I didn't have it. So what I did, I used a black marker pen and I went over it with the black marker pen, but I'm going to see if I can get it nice and dark with just using the ink. Now I've got my stamping platform back. Stampin' Up do the Stamparatus, which is great because you can not only use it like this, but they come apart, so the plates will come off and they will move. So if you're doing repeated patterns, it's brilliant for that. There we go. Now you see it's not very defined, so I'm going to go over it a couple more times and see if that helps. Let's see if it has an effect. There you go, see it's becoming a bit darker now. The bottom's fine, it's the top part. Now, get it all over my fingers again. A lot better now. Might just do one more time, just at the top. Just one last go. There we go. Yeah, that's lovely. So it's not quite as dark as this one, but it's not bad. Okay, and then I'm going to use this as well for my sentiment, only because I can do the same if it doesn't come out too dark enough. Let's just check I've got that straight. right. There we go. Let's just ink this up. I could do that again. There you go. I think that's lovely. Right. Just clean these off a minute. Just take that and put that on there for a second, because I know there was some black under there. There we go. I'll just take that off. I'll leave that one on. Now, I forgot to tell you about the stamp sets that I'm using. The tree comes from Life is Beautiful. This is a lovely stamp set. I've been using this quite a bit to make cards with. I'm going to use a punch to make some bats to go on the card. The sentiment came from the Ghoulish Goodies, the most spectacular time of the year. And I'm going to use the bat from here and Boo to put inside from the Banner Year stamp set as well. I might be using the cobweb from here and the spider as well from here, so we'll see how we get that now. Right, so we can put this nearly together. Now we've got to do the orange layer now for the background, and I'm using the cobwebs. I could probably if I was doing it the other way round, so that I had the raised part of the cobwebs instead, so they would actually be indented, so it would be the debossed side. I could use the black ink pad on here to give just to pick up the spider's webs, but I'll tell you what, we'll do both. So if I put that there, I'll use, because I can always use the other side as well anyway. So, right, just going to put this over there like that, and there. And I'm going to put this through my, whoops, I don't know what that was, machine. Right, will be a moment. Hi, right, so this is what it looks like if you do the debossed side. So the actual spider's web is going down into the card, but this side is the embossed side. So we'll have a look and see what the difference, which one we prefer. So you just warm the wax up a little bit, and you just lightly go over, and again we don't need to go over the whole thing, just around the edges really. But like I said, you could use the sponge dauber as well. You don't have to use your fingers with this, you can use an ink. You can, if you've got any of the smaller ink pads, if you rub over the top of it lightly, there you go. That's the effect that that gives. So you've got that side, or you've got the spider's web a bit more defined because of the ink on that side. And got a little bit of shading as well because of the thing. So, I don't know. The other thing, once that has dried off a little bit, you need to let it absorb into the paper. If you use a dry tissue, fortunately it's on my fingers now, you can buff it up afterwards, and it just sort of gives it a bit more of a luster. There you go. It does make it a bit dirty, but no dirtier than my finger already is. There we go. Right. So, got nice dirty hands now. Hopefully it won't go anywhere. So that's my background. I think, I don't know. I think I'll stick with this side, just so that it's the same as the one I've already done. Actually, no. We'll use the other side. Except there's nothing up there. It doesn't really matter. I mean, what I could do, because I've missed a bit, I could go, just go through lightly with a pen, just to pick up. There we go. There. So that's that side. So now we can put this together. So first of all, we'll stick the black card on. Now this, the card I'm using, the card base is a 5x7 card. Because of all the layers that are on this, I usually use an A6 card, which is just, you can cut up a piece of A4 card in half and then fold it to make an A6 card. But because this has got so many layers on, I needed a slightly bigger card. I could have made an A5 size card, that would have been just as good. But anyway, just if you want to know the dimensions, this layer is 6 3/4 by 6 3/4 by 4 3/4. Then the orange piece is 6 by 4. Yeah. So stick this one on. Again, you need a little bit more on this because there's raised parts, and so some of the parts won't actually be adhering on the paper. So just a little bit more than I would normally use on this side. So that's 6 by 4 for this one. and then this black mat is 3 1/8 across by let's measure it. Where's my tape measure? The rule is on the floor. Oops. This is 5 1/8. Okay, so I'm just going to have a small margin around this one. Again, I could stick this onto here and then raise it, but I'm just going to keep it all flat because I like things flat. Just so that I can, if I want to use them in the post, I can, and it won't cost me any more. But if you're handing it to somebody, you could easily raise this up onto dimensionals. There we go. And then finally this piece on here. There we go. And then just got a very small, this one's 3 by 5, so that's why this one is just 1/8 of an inch bigger. So you've just got a sliver of black around the outside. There you go. So finishing touches of the bats. I've got a piece of black card here, and this is one of the, there are 4 punches, or was it 3? I'm not sure whether this one's from last year though, sorry. Whoops. 3, 4, and one more, 5. So got those. Now I did do some eyes on them because I thought that looked quite nice, and I'd seen that on someone else's version. I think her bats were a bit bigger than mine. I do find, unfortunately, that the chalk markers don't always show up. The one that I've got doesn't show up very well on my black card, so this is a Posca, a Uni Posca white marker. It's a 0.7mm nib, so it's a nice narrow or small. There we go, and we'll just put these on. I think I might just put some blobs on. There we go. I'll put them on. Here we go. I'll use this just to pick them up. I'll put them on. 1. 2, 3. Whoop. 4. And 5. There we go. So we've got our bats. Now for the inside, I'm going to put Boo. we go. Just wipe the black off there. Whoops. And then we'll put, where did I put the one with the bat on it? There he is. Might just put this bat on the front, on the inside. There we go. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. And then on the envelope, if I can find the envelope, no, that's the one I had. Right, not doing very well. I'll get another one quickly. Here we go. The envelope, maybe another bat. And maybe just have a little spider in the middle. Down. There we go. Right, so there we go. So there's an envelope, spider, and our bat on. We've got the card on the inside, and there's the original. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you might have a go. If you need anything, I've got an online shop. You can have a look at the details below and it'll tell you how you can find it. If you're from the UK or Europe, you can buy from my online shop. Otherwise, you can find a local demonstrator to you and you can buy the products from them. Again, I hope you've enjoyed watching. If you did, please can you give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more of the videos, then click on the subscribe button, and if you want to be notified when I post another video, then click on the little bell icon. Thanks for joining me today. Hope that you'll join me again soon. Thanks. Bye bye.